Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet, and welcome to the very first game we are casting for the Art of War tournament. That's right, I mentioned it in my 100 subscribers video. I'd be casting parts of a tournament for the Art of Warfare. They're basically running an in-clan tournament where they've got 8 teams of 4 people each, ranked into different brackets like bracket A, bracket B, depending on what league they're in and that sort of thing. So yeah, this is it. This is the tournament. We're going to be bringing out about 4 games each week, 1 from each bracket, just from all the random teams, just to show you what sort of action is going on. So let's start off by introducing the players and their teams. So starting off, we do have the gentleman whose name I am not even going to try and pronounce, Mr. Q up the top right hand side, and he is playing for the team known as In Pursuit of Skill, which is quite ironic since Pursuit is actually spelt incorrectly, but I will let you guys check that out. There's going to be a link in the description to not only the Art of Warfare website but also to the Google document which contains all of the tournament standings, who's winning, who's losing, how much people have won, that sort of stuff. So you can check out information on every single team member in the tournament, what teams they belong to, how many wins they've got, etc, etc, and that will be in the description for you guys. So yes, and down the bottom left side of the map, it is going to be doomedtnt, and he is playing for the team Best Team Incoming. That is right, so should be expecting quite a bit from these guys. 2 gateway actually pressure coming out straight off of doomedtnt, and I should mention it straight off, as I said, there's 4 brackets, A, B, C and D. So A would generally be your diamond players, your platinum players, your masters level players. Bracket D is generally going to be silver, bronze level, so on, so on, so on. So these guys are bracket D, so I'll start off with bracket D and I'm going to work my way up every single week. And yeah, so I'm going to try my very best not to be too harsh on these guys, because I can be quite harsh on people when I'm casting master level players and they screw up. I can be quite harsh sometimes, so we're going to try not to be that harsh. He's actually going for an early expansion. That's pretty ballsy, and considering that we've got the 2 zealot, double zealot coming out, yeah, I mean, he's got a block off here. He's got to have a couple of marines, although you do not want to rally them out here. Ooh, that may be a big mistake, because obviously he'll have to run them back up through the supply depot, and opening the supply depot may allow the zealots to come out. Of course, the zealots are going to be quite a ways away. Looks like he's going to wait for a group. He's not going to just stream them in one by one, which has its advantages, but it definitely means that it's going to give the Terran player a lot more time to perhaps get a bunker there. Getting a bunker right here would be absolutely fantastic and allow him to support his command center going down as well. If we have a look at the income tab, so far Doomed has a slight advantage on the workers, but that will just be from the chrono boost, although he's currently not building workers right now. Alright, I said I wasn't going to have a go at these players, so yeah, his workers will be coming out. Did he just lose a worker? He's losing. How is he losing workers? This is a Protoss. You're not supposed to lose workers. Oh no, sorry, that's just workers mining. Oops! If I should be having a go at anybody, it should be me for... oh man, I am so bad at this casting business. So here we go, gateway. Surprisingly, no, there it is. There's the cyber core going down. He's got a lot of gas income actually, for only just putting his cyber core down now. So yeah, we'll see what he does with that gas income. It could be a Stargate once the cyber core is down, but here come the zealots. They are going to be moving out. And our Terran player needs a bunker out here. Really needs a bunker out here. He's not looking like he's going for one yet. His command center is ready to move out. But we will see. Maybe he's just going to defend him with just straight up marines. But I do not know. Here we go. The bunch of zealots coming in there. The scouting SCV is not quite going to catch them. He's going to completely miss them. Very unfortunate. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zealots, and I do not think that these marines can hold out very long. I mean, if he, I don't think he has stim. No, he does not. So stim and running is not a great possibility, and even if it was stim and run, I still don't think these guys would stand much of a chance. So Yeah, Mr. Q may have to move his command center back off and abandon this forward position. He's already moved his barracks off. So, yeah, gonna have to lift that up in just a second. And he's gonna try and reblock off this thing again. Is he gonna lift it off though? This could be a massive, massive mistake. There we go, lift it off, but it is on fire. So he's gonna have to repair that as soon as it gets over here, otherwise he'll lose it. All his forces are inside. Supply depot should be lifted up anytime soon. This may be his first major mistake in this game if he does not lift this up. One Marauder though, going to be enough to scare these guys away. And this Marine, man, what a crazy little bastard. But so far, Doomed has done quite a bit of good pressure. Although I don't like this decision from him. He loses a Zealot without really doing much there. So, I mean, just keep it back here. Just keeping an eye on this expansion maybe. Or just putting out the nice pressure that he is doing. And he has expanded off that. So, really, really great play by Doomed so far. Now, Mr. Q is going to be chucking out some Marauders a bit further. And that's definitely a good idea. He's even getting out a starport with a reactor. So, that's going to be medevacs all damn day, I feel like. But, of course, he's going to be a bit taxed on the income. He's actually got quite a lot of work because he must have been building a ton. He's still building a ton off there, but he's a little bit supply capped there. So get those supply depots out. And he's starting to build out a very, very nice force. Medevac support, of course, will be extremely helpful. And he does have the minerals for it, but just hasn't quite kicked them off yet. Command center coming back out again. I would definitely recommend a bunker here in every single Masters level game. If you are playing a game like this, get a bunker, hell, get 2 bunkers. You can salvage them later, and they provide great defense, especially against something like early game Zealot pressure. Now, meanwhile, on Doom's side, he is getting out a robotics bay. He's got a bunch more gateways out. So he's going to be 4-gating it off 2 base with a robo facility, and going for a warp prism. That's going to be interesting. So, what could he possibly be thinking about doing with a warp prism? I don't know. I do not know. I suppose he could drop in the backside with Zealots, like over here maybe, if he makes it past the expansion. Or you could just use it as a mobile warping in facility for reinforcements. It's definitely not a bad idea. Got a nice scan coming out here, but that's not going to see much. Doom really hasn't built up that many more forces than he had previously. The only real thing is a bunch of sentries and, of course, a mothership core. These are all researched by default, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like they're all researched by default. I can't remember. I don't know if they made a hallucination something that you had to research. I know it used to be, but I think they may have changed it to do research by default. SCB coming out for a bit of a scout. And Mr. Q feeling a bit good about this. Is he going to get the tank sieged up? Yes, he is. The Zealots all going down pretty nice. He's actually put a force field right on top of the tank. Does not stop it from shooting, and the army goes down, but Mr. Q got quite a lot of his forces taken out. The the Nexus overcharge there, doing a great job. The Stalk is getting in range, and they managed to snipe out the tank, and that is going to be all she wrote for this Terran harassment, although they're lasting quite a while. With that bloody the medevacs are in range of the Nexus right there. So very, very, very nice defense there by Doomed. He lost a lot of his forces though, but look at this, man. Mr. Q going for a 3rd base as well, and we've got the Fort Prism. I don't know why, but a mothership is on the tip of my tongue, and every time I try and say something, I end up saying mothership. It's quite bad. These Zealots, not quite. They should have gone perhaps straight for these guys, but I don't think it made much difference. I don't think they would have taken a lot out. And this warp prism, does Mr. Q know that the warp prism is there? Does not look like he's worried about it. If indeed he does know it's there, he's just pushing out with another bunch of guys. Another bunch of medevacs as well. These are actually the same medevacs from last time, so it would be nice if they had a display there saying number of units healed. Instead of units killed, they just had units healed. Oh, skin of your teeth, old buddy. Let's have a look at the income. Looks like Mr. Q has caught up a little bit, and with a 3rd command center on the way, he can start to really, really macro up. And Doomed is getting close to the point where he just needs to get a ton more income, because this Hammerfall is going to be quite nasty, and he doesn't really have as much as he would like, really. I mean, some Immortals would be nice, a whole bunch more Zealots, Zealot speed, but he does not have much of anything at the moment. He's just got this small force, and he's going to be double-pronged attacked over here. Tank sieging up is going to be a nice position. If they run up the ramp, they're going to get slaughtered by that siege tank, and the main force is coming in as well. Splitting up his force does mean that this first force is going to be slaughtered quite easily. They go down quite easily, but the Marines coming up from behind without siege support, though, I will say. So this Stalker is not going to be seeing any sort of siege damage, and one Immortal coming out at just the wrong time, but he's going to be going down there. And I don't know, man, two-prong attacks usually are a pretty good idea, but in this case, not really, because he split up his force, and as you know, if you send a small force against a large force, you will die taking out a lot less of the large force than you would otherwise like. Whereas if it's a large force versus a large force, then you'll probably even up your losses. And this is what happened. He split up his forces, but the two forces individually just did not have the power, and they got slaughtered. So this first force absolutely got slaughtered, and the second force just was not in a really good position. If they had dropped over here, moved in, started harassing the workers, that could have been horrendous. But they just dropped over there and then tried to back up these guys, but it just took a bunch of Zealots being warped in here, and that was all she wrote, man. So splitting up your forces, not a good idea if you're only got enough to face off against the enemy. I mean, he had a bit more than he needed, I feel like, but when he split them up into two halves, he just did not have enough to really face off against the main army from the Protoss. And the first army went down without dealing really any damage, and then that means the second army was not going to be able to match up against Doom's main army, which was still alive. So here we go. Is he going to push up with one tank and then another tank? You can sort of do a what is he doing? This is actually a nice play. You put one tank out there, then you move the other tank up here, and if they try and get in within range of the first tank, they start getting hit by the second tank. It's that chain of tanks sort of effect. Man. I'm trying not to say anything, but you know when they've got when they're not maxed out and they've got 4,000 minerals in the bank, that you are seeing some players who are not necessarily in Masters League, that they're probably in a bronze or silver. So yeah, come on, man. Come on. Alright, well, he's trying to get in there. Is he going to spot this? Is he going to scan it? Chances are probably not that great. But we do have a whole bunch of supply just went down for Mr. Q. And he knows he needs to start macroing up. So 3 more barracks on the way. But yeah, Doomed knows this is happening. And is Doomed going to be going for... Oh my god, that's a lot of buildings. Where is his robotics facility? No, not his robotics facility. The robotics support bay. The robotics bay. Dan, there's like 10 different names for it. I keep getting confused with Brood War, but yeah, he would really, really like to get a robotics bay. And I feel like Mr. Q isn't even going to bother attacking. Right now, he's just like, you know what? I got 3 bases. I'm getting a 4th. Doomed is on 2 bases, man. So I'm just going to starve him out. And he's easily able to fill up his supply. He's just the only problem is getting the supply depots out now. But once he gets them out, he just keeps on getting them and continuing to build this up. Now this is just supply depots. I thought there was another command center over there. And yeah, Doomed, he's kind of a bit screwed here. He's got a nice army here, very, very nice army, and he's 40 behind in terms of the total size, and he's 20 behind in the income size. So yeah, I mean, once Mr. Q gets out all these barracks, he's going to have the macro potential to rebuild very, very fast, and I think Doomed is a little bit screwed in this game. So yeah, he's trying to build an expansion over there, got some warp prisms, got some workers in those warp prisms, so pretty nice job. Mr. Q checking out this expansion, saying that they're still not up. Will he go over to this one and check that out? Oh, looks like we've got a bit of movement out here. Not quite going to be attacking yet. The warp prism coming back. The Marines will see the warp prism, and he's got to be thinking, what were those warp prisms doing? Is he going to go over there and check there? Bunch of Marines and Marauders coming over here. This could be the end for Doomed, man. He had a small possibility of winning with that, but here we go. The Marines not quite covering the tanks out on the front line, but there are a couple more tanks in the back line. Stalker's going absolutely nuts, but with the amount of Marines and Marauders here, I feel like Mr. Q has a very, very decent chance to win this, and yes, Doomed forces are going down. Really, really nice job. And did these guys just completely ignore that expansion or not even see it? They saw it, but they're not worried about it. So there we go. There's the GG anyway. Doomed is going to be taking the loss here. And this was actually, yeah, this was the second game. And I think, off the top of my head, that Mr. Q did win the first game as well. So, yes, that is going to mean victory for Mr. Q in this tournament. So, congratulations to him. And one thing I actually meant to do is read off the points for the entire teams. But you know what? We might wait for that until a little bit. I feel like this is the first week, so we're sort of introducing the teams, and I'm going to introduce each team over this week, and then at the end of the week, I'm going to start doing the scores for everybody. So I don't want to do the scores for all the teams because I haven't introduced them yet. But from week 2 onwards, we're going to spit out the total scores for basically, for every team. So at the start, the very first game, we're going to spit out the scores for every team. And if I forget to do it, please remind me because, yeah, I need to do that. Of course, you can always go down to the description, go to the Google document, which has all the scores already there. So if you cannot wait until Game 4, check out that document. They will be right there. So thank you very much for watching our D bracket game for this week, and we'll be moving on to C bracket tomorrow. So yeah, catch you guys then. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.